Oh baby, it is a beautiful day because we just got our first major E3 2020 leaks for Nintendo Switch. New games, baby, from some of the biggest publishers in the world hitting our system. Except there's no E3 this year, so they're kind of just leaks. Not really E3 leaks. But even if I'm not going to the LA Convention Center, even if Nintendo isn't going to have a booth, big games are coming. Announcements are coming. Nintendo drops them on Twitter. They've greenlit other devs and pubs to do whatever they want and announce them how they see fit. So when you see this list, you're going to be excited. If you're pumped for a summer of great gaming on Nintendo Switch, smash that like button. Let me know in the comments down below what game you want most on Switch. We're going to go over everything. I'm going to explain what happened and then talk about the games that could be coming any moment. It's kind of thrilling, isn't it? It's kind of exciting when you know that Nintendo could, well, bam, drop a new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer at any point. They have decided to go more direct than even a direct. The word is they're not going to have a June presentation. It was too difficult for them to put one together given the circumstances. But fear not, there is more first-party stuff coming. We saw Paper Mario and the Origami King get announced on Twitter, and I expect us to see more in that vein soon. You know, the rumor is the Mario remasters are coming, and I fully believe they are. There's a lot of scuttlebutt around Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Metroid Prime Trilogy on Switch. I am excited. But today, we have big leaks from Amazon France. What exactly went down is this, and it happens every year leading into E3. So you can take this with not really salt because there's precedent. Every year, Amazon adds SKUs to their database, and they almost assuredly mean that more Switch games are coming. You can see it's a nice list here. Warner Brothers, Square Enix, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Capcom, Take-Two, big publishers with new SKUs in the database. And what exactly will this mean? What games will they be? I think we can go over them and make some pretty good guesses. And like I said, this is a better leak and means more than, say, when you see, I don't know, recently Metroid Prime Trilogy popped up on some foreign retailer and it said, oh, it's coming out in July. Well, that's just like one place giving a very specific date, and you're like, I'm not sure if that makes sense. This is the E3 protocol. New games are about to be announced, and so they get added to databases, and then we get to speculate on what those games are. But we can make some really educated guesses, and I'm rolling trailers of some things that I think it could be, but we'll talk about it in a moment here. Nintendo themselves is not part of this. As you saw, there's no Nintendo first-party stuff on Amazon, but I fully believe we will get more first-party. Other companies are opting for digital events. Nintendo seems to be not doing that, but we know that Ubisoft and EA are having their own E3 type events. We know that Jeff Keighley is putting together a summer of games, and a bunch of developers and publishers are banding together for combo shows. So there are many opportunities for these games to get revealed in the near immediate future. We know that PlayStation and Xbox are getting really ready to show off all the awesomeness for their new consoles. And you have to imagine that a lot of these games, especially multi-platform titles, are just waiting. They have their marketing cycles set to reveal in June for E3. And I think a lot of them still will. So we're on the cusp, the precipice, my friends, of really big stuff. And Nintendo is ready for it because they've changed the landscape with this trailer right here. They are more flexible and ready to be different than any year in recent memory. They put out a Mario first-party major new title reveal via this trailer, and nobody anticipated it. Nobody expected it would drop that morning, and boom, there it is, and the game's out in 2 months. So they're willing to go to any lengths to get you the goods, to get us the goods. And I think other companies are going to follow suit. So let's pull up the list of exactly what these SKUs represent. Here is what we've got right here. Warner Brothers, Square, Ubisoft, Bethesda, Capcom, and Take-Two. Now, I want to go through what these games could be and probably are. And feel free to give me your take in the comments down below what you think they might be. And I want to start at the top with Warner Brothers. Now, you'll notice that you see NSW, Xbox, PS4. They also appear in those categories, so we've got to make sure we keep in mind the multi-platform nature of these different games. And it's interesting that a number of them are just Nintendo Switch and Xbox. Now, that could adjust as Amazon updates their system. It could be a mistake, or maybe Nintendo and Microsoft are really just working together harder than we even know about. Warner Brothers kicks things off. Actually, let's go to Take-Two. I know a lot of you are like, oh my gosh, Take-Two. Is it going to be Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead? I really think Take-Two, 3 down there at the bottom of the list, is going to be NBA 2K21. Take-Two has released NBA 2K on Switch every year, and it makes sense that they would put out the newest volume on Switch. Now you might say, why doesn't it say PS5, Xbox Series X? I don't think Amazon is really worried about that right now. So I'm not sure if any of these games will be cross-gen or if they're only going to be current-gen or how that's going to work out. But I'm pretty positive that the Take-Two game, if there's only one, is NBA. And that is inevitable, right? NBA is going to come to Switch, but it's not an Amazon system yet because they haven't really fully announced like the cover athlete or anything for 2K21. So that looks to be 2K21. All right, back to Warner Brothers at the top. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is coming out later this year, but that's already been announced and has a SKU in Amazon system. Therefore, it's not that. So what else does Warner Brothers have? Well, Warner Brothers has a lot of Lego, so I predict that Warner Brothers 3 is another Lego title. What property will they tackle? Where will it be? I'm not quite sure. Will it be movie related? I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me to see another Lego title since they love to double down. The other thing it could be is something Batman, Harry Potter, or Scribblenauts related. Now, I can't really begin to guess why Warner Brothers 2 is just Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. As I said, that could be a mistake, but it would be viable for any of those properties to place themselves on this list. There is supposedly a Gollum Lord of the Rings game in the works, but as far as I'm aware, that is a next-gen property, and therefore probably would not be on Switch. So I think you're more likely to see some sort of Batman opportunity. I mean, if the Court of Owls game is real, if it is cross-gen, if they were able to get that on Switch, that is an absolute riot of a win for us Nintendo fans. If they somehow get the new Batman game that people have been anticipating and waiting for forever on Switch, crazy cool. I mean, I'll take a collection of Batman on Switch. I know that's not as bold, but I doubt that a collection on Switch would also then come out on PS4 and Xbox One. And that's what's interesting to me about this list. Most of these titles are multi-platform, which implies that they will be new games as opposed to re-releases just for Switch, which at some level, okay, it's not exclusive, but on another level, it more ensures that it will be new. There's always the opportunity for remasters, and we know that Activision is hard at work at more of those, and we're seeing that across the board from many companies. So maybe one of these is a remaster. I'm not quite sure. I feel like I don't know. I don't think all of these are going to be just rehashes. That would be a little silly. Let's jump to Ubisoft since we just saw a Rayman trailer. I think a new Rayman game is plausible. We haven't got a brand new Rayman game in a while, and if you look at Ubisoft 2, it could be Rayman. It could also be a new Just Dance or something similarly boring. I was hoping that one of these would be Ubisoft with just Nintendo Switch because that's where something like a Mario plus Rabbids 2 or a Zelda plus Rabbids could really factor in, but we're not seeing that. And remember, this isn't the full list. It's not like these are the only games we're going to get during the summer months announced for Switch. There will be more. This is just what's popping up. And I do, fingers crossed, hope that Ubisoft has an exclusive for Switch at their conference in July. So you wonder where these things are going to show up. The Ubisoft stuff is going to show up in July unless it's something cross-gen and announced at like a Microsoft or Sony show, and then, it also gets the Nintendo Switch logo. But I feel like Ubisoft will hold the games we're talking about today for their specific event in early July. I don't know. Ubisoft, like Gods and Monsters, that's already a SKU. I'm excited for that game, but that's already a thing, so I don't have to worry about that. Just Dance, Rayman, those are my best guesses, but sometimes they do crazy things. They've still got Skull and Bones out there that's never been announced for Switch, but it's still kind of lurking. I don't think Rainbow Six makes its way to Switch, so it's probably not Quarantine. Yeah, I'm not as excited about the Ubisoft stuff. The Bethesda things are very interesting, and especially because Bethesda has said they are not doing a digital showcase this summer. They're not. So where do 3 Bethesda Switch games get announced? Well, the most exciting one on the list is the Switch-only title, but we know what that is. It's Doom Eternal. That SKU has not been placed in the system because we have no idea when that game is releasing. It was initially supposed to release day and date last fall, and then the March 20th delay happened, and you know what else came out on March 20th. There's no way that Doom Guy and Isabel were going to share the spotlight. That's just not possible. So that Nintendo Switch-only game has got to be Doom Eternal. The other 2 are interesting, though. What could they put on Switch that would also go on other platforms? And if they're not having a major showcase in the summer, is it something truly brand new? Or is it some sort of package, some sort of retread, some sort of collection? I could easily see any assortment of Prey, Dishonored, or Evil Within making its way to Switch. And the good news is those are all quality franchises and all quality games. all of them. Like, I would like to have Evil Within 2 on the Switch. I'd like to have Prey on the Switch. I'd like to have Dishonored on the Switch. I don't think any of those would be a bad thing. There's also Elder Scrolls Legends, but Elder Scrolls Legends has kind of been announced, and I don't know that that's getting a SKU because it should just be a free download. So what could those others be? Not so sure. Bethesda, you working on something new? I don't know. I mean, they've been very good about supporting the Switch with their shooters, and so like I said, Doom Eternal, they're working on Starfield heavily, but will that be ready at any point soon? I don't know. Starfield seems like a 2021 game at best, and I really don't think Starfield is sadly going to be running on Switch. Elder Scrolls is way out there as well, probably exclusively a next-gen thing, and not going to make it to Switch either. Now, Capcom is interesting because it is a Switch-only title, and they've really been aggressive pushing their old Resident Evil games, pushing their Devil May Cry titles, and pushing Mega Man on the platform. What could this be? The big hope here is that this would be a brand new Monster Hunter title exclusive to Switch. Is there enough right now for that to happen? There might be. There's no reason Capcom could not announce that. It seems like something that typically Nintendo would take pleasure in announcing, but since there's not a direct, Capcom could really announce this at any point, or Nintendo could announce it at any point. There has to be a Monster Hunter at some point on the Switch. It is a very popular franchise that has a lot of love from Nintendo fans and just from players in general. Monster Hunter World blew the lid off that franchise and really exposed it, expanded the audience dramatically. Whatever this game is, if it's sort of a hybrid between the Monster Hunter that many Switch fans know and love and Monster Hunter World that existed on their platforms, this could be a phenomenal game. There's also a chance it is something Resident Evil 3 related. We've heard rumors that that game might be coming to Switch, but I feel like that's more likely going to be arriving via like the Biohazard 7 in Japan, where it's like a streaming option, and maybe that doesn't even hit the system here, but this is a SKU, so it's probably going to be a physical product, and therefore that streaming option doesn't make as much sense. So it could be, in fact, something really, really neat. Or maybe it's just another Mega Man collection or a Devil May Cry collection or something far more boring. Now, on the Square Enix side of things, they have 2 games that are just for Switch. We just got the announcement that Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered is coming August 27th. It's probably not one of those, given that that's already public knowledge, so maybe they have some other RPGs. I mean, in general, you have to assume that Square is working on a lot of stuff for Switch. They love to support the Switch. We've got, Dragon Quest, we've got Octopath. They do put a lot out there. What will these be? Here, I don't have a lot of speculation. They have been pretty good about giving us old games and new games, so it makes sense that it could be any combination of those for those two. But I think a lot of really good stuff here, and I'm so pumped to see this start to roll out. And I want to know what you guys think, what these games are, which one you're most excited for. Is it the Bethesda stuff? Is it that Capcom Switch exclusive? Is it the Warner Bros. Maybe bringing Batman or Harry Potter or something pretty awesome? Could they do like a Shadow of Mordor on Switch? That system is pretty advanced in terms of the way it works, so I don't know if it would work on our system, but maybe it could. And then Take-Two, I'm 99% sure it's NBA, but if you got any bold ideas, let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you're excited for this awesome summer. Nintendo's rolling out Clubhouse games, Xenoblade Chronicles, 2K's got their stuff, Paper Mario is going to be out before you know it. I think we're going to get a lot of hype, and it's going to start coming fast. So I'm excited to be there with you guys. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest. Thanks for your support. I love you guys and appreciate you so much. I hope you're staying safe and staying healthy. Check out our Discord if you want to discuss this more and hang out with me, trade some Animal Crossing villagers, and just have a great time. Until then, though, everybody, thanks again for watching. Have a fantastic day. SwitchForce out.